Fans, welcome back to the 2015 GLVC Football Kickoff, and our eighth school checking in with us today is Truman State University. The Bulldogs finished tied for second in conference play last year. They were 5-3 and 6-4 overall. In the GLVC preseason poll just released today, the coaches have picked Truman State to finish second in the conference. Greg Nesbitt is set to begin his sixth year as the coach on the sidelines in Kirksville, Missouri. Welcome, Coach. And also we're joined today by senior offensive lineman Brad Harden and also defensive lineman Devin Gillespie. Welcome, fellas, to the opening of the football season. Coach, welcome to the kickoff. As we said, I know you're excited as always to get another season underway. How about a few opening comments as the Bulldogs embark on their third season now in the GLVC?
One, it'll be my 36th year, so it's getting a little more difficult to get excited. I'm about as excited as I get. But
okay.
It is a great time of the year. It's a great time for fans, and I guess for me personally, it's a real privilege to watch. Jim, our commissioner, sitting in here as we talk, but being a part of growing something. The GLVC is obviously something. The GLVC is obviously an established conference, but the sport of football, that hasn't been the case. And I'm Rick, the improvement. William Jewell, where you're from top to bottom, from year one to year two, is nothing short of remarkable. So we're just pleased to have the opportunity to continue to compete.
Well, we're going to talk about all three phases of your team. Let's start, I think, with offense here. 7 starters returning on offense for you, including junior quarterback Devontae Black. A lot of guys up front in the trenches. Brad Harden is one of the special ones, and we'll talk to him in just a moment. But I'd like to have you talk a little bit about Brad's contributions and the overall outlook on offense this year.
Well, Brad, we win and lose football games up front by and large, and we're blessed to have 6 returning starting offensive linemen, I think, that have started at least 6 games in their career, Brad being one of them, who's started off and on. He could tell you exactly, but for me, he's been a 3-year starter for us from Fort Zumwalt West, just up the road here in O'Fallon, Missouri, on the other side, and has been a real staple for us.
Brad, let's talk to you a little bit here. You are a senior now, and a couple of years of GLVC under your belt. Both of those years, Truman has been right at the top, competing for the championship. But pick number 2 this year. What will it take for you guys to make that move into the number 1 spot?
Well, Coach harped on it earlier in another interview. We have to finish better. Late in games, I know there's a couple games last year we let slip away in the fourth quarter, and we've been really harping on that in the off season, in accordance with our workouts, finishing in practice, finishing plays. I know we finish on the offensive line a lot more now because of what we've been through, but pick second, rightfully so, because of the work that we've done. But we hopefully look to change the outcome this year. But,
what does it mean to finish second as finish as an offensive lineman? Every play going an extra 3 yards, or what does that look like?
Finishing maybe a little sprint after a play, finishing your blocks, just going basically full out from whistle to whistle, not giving up, being lackadaisical at any point of the game, because any block that we make just by finishing could spur a big play.
Thank you, Brad. 6 starters are returning on defense for you this year, Coach, including all-conference standouts Nick Reichert on the line and Austin Zoda in the secondary. Would you please talk a little bit about those guys and some of your other defensive players?
Well, Nick Reichert, we haven't selected captains, but I'm fairly confident he'll be a 2-year captain, as he was voted captain last year as a junior. And he's undersized, from Quincy, Illinois, Quincy Notre Dame High School, and plays with a couple chips on his shoulders. He's going to coach, as is Austin Zoda, who I think is one of the better football players in the conference, coach's dream. So just like the Cardinals are just down the road, or the Royals in your neck of the woods, right. You better be good up the middle, and they certainly afford us that opportunity.
Good to have kids like that, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Devin, you've become a staple at GLVC special events in the last couple of years. You were the lone Truman attendee at the 2013 kickoff event. Just last year, you worked on the GLVC Sports Network's extra credit crew during the basketball tournament. Let's talk some football, though, right at the moment. So give us an idea what your experience has been like on the football team within the GLVC.
It's definitely been a good experience. I've met a lot of these guys. A lot of them I went to high school with. I'm actually related to a few of these guys. So it's pretty close to home as far as the GLVC is concerned.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing in your eyes? I mean, a lot of kids would say, I want to go a long way from home for the college experience. How's it been for you?
I think it definitely helps when it comes to game day. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing this guy. I know this guy, and sometimes it may even be a tip that I can.
Oh, is that right?
I can help up. So I think it all works out in the end.
All right. Coach, we've talked about offense. We've talked about defense. How about special teams? What's your view on your special teams unit this year?
Well, there's good and bad. I'll start with the good. Roger Howard, once we settled on a place kicker last year, Roger, who's a redshirt sophomore from the state of California, he was 8 for 11 in field goals. He did a great job of placing the football in our kickoff coverage, which ended up leading the league by the end of the season. So that's the good news. The bad news is we're losing our all-time career record holder in terms of punting in Jacob Lamp. And so paying attention to developing not just a punter, but our punting unit. It's not how far you punt it, it's what we net out, and hopefully 37 to 39 is where we'll end up at the end of the year. We've been blessed with Jacob Lamp and Eric Phillips prior to him to having 2 of the better Division II punters in the nation. So that's a little bit of a concern.
People overlook that, don't they? They overlook how important that is.
Well, coaches don't.
Right.
But you bet the fans do. So, Kevin White, our SID, says you never talk about them until you don't have them. We've been very, very blessed and spoiled the last 7 years.
How about your schedule this year? 11 games, 7 are on the road this year. That includes the first 2 on the road, then another 2-game road trip, and then back-to-back road contests in October. That sounds like it's very difficult.
No question. And once again, at 36 years in the profession, Rick, this will be, without any embellishment, the most difficult road schedule that we've had. But we'll use that as a positive. We'll be road warriors, and we're going to travel to Wichita Falls, Texas, and play Midwestern State out of the Lone Star week 1. Week 2, we're going to go to inner-city Detroit and play Wayne State out of the GLIAC. I think it's exactly where our conference needs to be competing in terms of marketing ourselves and earning some respect on a national scale, and 1,700 miles. Hopefully we'll have something left in the tank when we open up GLVC play week 3 against Rolla. I
have no doubt that you will. Greg Nesbitt, thank you, the head coach of Truman State here, along with Brad Harden and Devin Gillespie. Good luck to all you guys this year, and on the road especially. It's going to be a tough road to hoe, literally. Thanks for joining us on the GLVC Sports Network, and when we come back, it'll be the final team today, the 3-time defending champion, the University of Indianapolis Greyhounds, coming up next on the GLVC Sports Network, where champions are crowned.